Hello, hello. Hello, Facebook friends. Or as we say in my hometown, hey y'all. Yeah, I'm Southern. So I am doing another live stream, and as you can see, I discovered that I can do a horizontal Facebook video, which I am sure you are all glad of and probably have known about for like 3 years. But I just figured it out. So hopefully this will be a better experience for you and you will enjoy it a little bit more because it's not so tiny and narrow. So today I am going to talk about the one thing that has radically, completely changed my life. And I know people say that a lot, but I'm serious, for real. This has actually changed my life. If you are new here, my name is Kimberly and I am the creative mind behind thepeacefulmom.com and beautifullife365.com, and I help women just like you to calm the chaos in their time, money, space, and relationships so that they can live happy, beautiful lives. And what I'm sharing today is a part of that, helping you live a happy, beautiful life. So stay tuned, but before we get started with that, I have a super exciting announcement. For 4 years, I have created the Joyful Life Planner, and it's a planner that I use that keeps me on track and helps me in so many ways. And I kept hearing from readers that they wanted an actual printed version, and I could just never get over the barrier to actually create that myself. But people, here it is, and I'm so excited. This is a printed and bound version that you can purchase starting next week, and I'm a little nervous because I have my own artwork on the cover, but I decided to just put on my big girl pants and try it. So I'll be giving you more information about that, and if you would like a discount, you can go to thepeacefulmom.com, and at the top of the website there is a huge picture of a succulent, and there's a little join now button, I think, and you can sign up for my emails and you will get a fun discount when these go on sale next week. I'll still have the digital planner available, but for those of you who hated printing it out at home on your computer or sending it to an office supply store to be printed, you can get your very own planner shipped to you. So fun. So I am today talking about the one thing that has radically, totally changed my life. And when I tell you, you may laugh because it's going to seem super simple. But let me explain. So, are you ready? Here it is. The one thing is to write everything down. See, I told you, you would think it's too simple, right? But it's actually so simple, it's brilliant. The research shows that writing things down does 3 things. The first thing is to actually activate different neurons in your brain than any other activity. So the act of handwriting your to-do list, handwriting your goals, handwriting notes to yourself, actually activates a different part of your brain, different neurons in your brain than any other activity. Very interesting. The second benefit of handwriting is it actually helps you remember what you write down. So because those neurons are activated, it actually enables your mind, your brain, to remember what it is that you wrote down. Now, the third thing is that it actually helps you think faster. And hi, Christina. So my theory is that it helps you think faster because your mind is kind of cleared of those things that are nagging your to-dos and those things that you need to remember, and that brain space is cleared out. I don't know if that's scientific, but it is scientifically proven that writing things down helps you to remember and to think faster. So let's talk about one of the things I mentioned, which is goals. Did you know that 80% of the population does not even think about goals? It's not even a thought or a consideration. And I guess you know, if you know some people who don't really achieve much, and I guess it's not a surprise that they don't have goals, but 80% seems like a high number to me. I don't want to be a part of the 80%. So of that leftover 20%, 16% of those people have goals, but they don't write them down. So it's just kind of a vague idea in their minds. 4% write their goals down, but only 1% write their goals down and review them. So the key is actually two things: the writing down of the goals and then the regular reviewing of them. I use the Joyful Life Planner to help me do that, but whatever system you use, whether it's a bullet journal or it's another planner that you're using, it's so important to write down what your goals are. Now, when I'm deciding what my goals are, I use a simple 4-step system. And that system is to, first of all, evaluate my life. So around New Year, I do like everybody else and evaluate the previous year, but I also do a monthly review, and that is included in my planner. And I will just sit down and look back at what my goals were for the year, what my goals were for the previous month, and see if I have accomplished them, see where the problem areas are, think about how life is going in general. Am I happy with the way my exercise routine is? Am I happy with the habits that I am currently participating in? I don't know if that's the right way to say it. So I just evaluate is the first step. Then the second step is to decide what you want to change. And so I'll just write down what I think needs to change and jot down some notes, and then I will choose 1 or 2 of those items and just envision how I want it to be different. So let's say my house is cluttered all the time and it's really driving me crazy. So that was one of the issues that I decided I wanted to change. So I'm going to envision what the positive would be. That would be clear spaces. That would be a kitchen table that is always clear and maybe has some cute little table centerpiece on it. So every night at dinner time, I don't have to move things off the table. I can just put dinner on the table right away. Or maybe it is my bedroom nightstand is a nightmare, and every night when I go to bed I feel stressed because there's just clutter piled up on my nightstand. So I'm going to envision a calm, clear space in my bedroom. I'm going to envision a pretty nightstand with maybe some little flowers or a candle, or a fun book that I want to read. So that envisioning step is so key. And I am so I'm going to evaluate, I'm going to decide, and then I am going to envision. And then the 4th step is I'm going to write tiny action steps that will help me to reach the goal. So Dr. BJ Fogg, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's a Stanford psychologist, and he discovered in his research that there are actually 3 steps that we need to take to trick our brains into change. A lot of times, how many of you put a 1 in the comments if you have made New Year's resolutions in the past, and then by the 1st or 2nd week of February, forget it. You just give up because you just realize it's not going to happen. Just add a 1 there in the comments, and hello, yes, I am one of those people. So my first response was a few years ago, I just stopped making New Year's resolutions. But then I realized, I need to have goals. I need to work on making my life happier and better and loving the people around me better. So when I discovered this research by Dr. Fogg, yeah, I see you, Samantha and Ronell. Yes, you guys are with me. New Year's resolutions that don't work, right? So anyway, Dr. BJ Fogg is a Stanford psychologist, and there are 3 things we need to do to trick our brains into actually changing. The first thing is to make a change that is so ridiculously small, we think there's no way that's going to actually do anything. So the example that he gives is, if you want to start flossing your teeth, that you would actually start by making it a habit to floss 1 tooth, making a decision to floss 1 tooth. Does that sound ridiculous? That sounds ridiculous. But because it sounds ridiculous, you can actually trick your brain into doing it. So then the second step, once you have decided on this really tiny, ridiculously tiny change that you want to make, the next step is to attach that new habit or that change that you want to make to something that you're already doing. Excuse me. So for example, if you eat dinner every night, like most of us do, then flossing your one tooth could happen right after dinner. So you just put a Post-it note up, or you set an alert on your phone, or you put your flossers out on the dinner table. Don't floss at the dinner table. But anyway, do something to remind yourself that as soon as dinner's over, you're going to floss that one tooth. And then the third thing, after you've chosen a ridiculously tiny change to make, you've attached it to something that you already do every day. And then the third step is to reward yourself. And the reward could be something as small as a check on your planner or on your calendar. You could have a little chart. And if you like little star stickers, you can, or smiley face stickers, you could do that. Other things could be like eating a small piece of chocolate, which of course you probably don't want to use that after flossing because that's going to undo what you've just done. But you get the idea. So you want to choose a ridiculously tiny change, attach it to something you're already doing every day, and then reward yourself. So another example would be exercise. So I wanted to start exercising every day. And so I started out with a ridiculously small challenge, and that was to put my shoes on, put my exercise shoes on. Okay, like duh, who can't do that, right? But it's so crazy because I put my exercise shoes on and then I'm like, well, I might as well go on a walk, right? And another thing that you can do is to change your environment. So leave the exercise shoes out and leave the exercise clothes out so you see them. So I also put my workout clothes right next to my bed. So first thing in the morning, I'm getting out of bed, see those clothes, put them on first thing, put the shoes on, and then it's just inevitable. I am going on a walk. And I also made the walk really tiny in the beginning. I just told myself I would go on a 5-minute walk, and it was great. And every day when I started the walk, I knew I only had to go 5 minutes. If I wanted to go longer, I could, but I didn't have to. And it's just amazing how it breaks through that resistance in your brain to making a change in your life. So I really encourage you to do this. Start writing everything down. And again, you can use your planner. You can use a bullet journal. You can use an app on your phone, but just know that the handwriting part is the actual magic of it. And so if you have enjoyed this, I would love it if you would leave a comment and just tell me one tiny change that you would like to make. And remember, it needs to be super ridiculously tiny, and it'll be fun to check back and see how this goes. And remember, I'm here on Wednesdays at 3 if you want to check in every week. And I also just wanted to remind you again about the Joyful Life Planner. I still have the digital one available, but I now have a printed one that you can have shipped to your house. And it's really a great way to take these steps that I've talked about and writing your goals down and keeping track of them and being able to review them. And next week will tell you more about the planner, but you can go to thepeacefulmom.com and you can click that button at the top of the site and join my email list, and you will get a discount code off of the planner. And I'm so happy that you joined me, and just feel free to leave any other comments in the comments there and I will answer them. And I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful day. And just before we leave, I see, Beth, that you're going to read the scriptures for 30 seconds. I love it. That is perfect. That is exactly what we're talking about. Super tiny. Like, who can't do that, right? So I'll look forward to hearing back from you how that works for you. And if anybody else wants to leave a comment there and let me know what your tiny change will be, you can do that. And I will check them after the Facebook feed. Y'all have a beautiful week.